A long time ago, in the peaceful kingdom of Akanni, there was a wise and respected king named King Richard. He was known for being fair, honest, and always thinking carefully before making decisions. The people loved him, and his name was sung in stories across nearby lands. But King Richard's most prized treasure wasn't gold or crown. It was his daughter, Princess Grace. Grace was kind to everyone. She listened more than she spoke, smiled more than she frowned, and gave more than she took. Her beauty was clear to anyone who saw her, but what truly made her special was her heart. She was a kind of person who helped old women cross rivers and stayed up late to comfort sick children. When she became of age to marry, kings, rich lords, and famous warriors traveled from across the land with camels, chariots, and chests full of gold to ask her hand in marriage. But King Richard wasn't impressed by riches or titles. He made an announcement that shocked everyone. My daughter will marry only the man who passes the test of the three flames. This test will not measure how rich you are or how strong you look. It will reveal who you truly are. No one knew exactly what the test was. Some thought it was a riddle. Others thought it was a trick. But curiosity brought crowds of people to the palace courtyard. In the center of the courtyard, 3 strange fires burned on stone stands. Each flame was a different color. Priests in red robes stood nearby, saying nothing. A royal guard stepped forward and read out the rules. Each flame stands for something. The first flame is for truth. The second flame is for sacrifice. The third flame is for humility. Inside each flame is a hidden item. To win the princess's hand, a man must pick out the item with his bare hand, without being burned. No gloves, no magic, no lies. Gasps filled the crowd. One by one, suitors stepped up. Princes, captains, traders with golden robes. Some screamed as soon as their fingers touched the first flame. Others never made it past the second. One proud noble shouted, "I am the ruler of 7 kingdoms. This test is beneath me." He plunged his hand into the flame of truth and fell backward, crying out in pain as burns spread across his fingers. The people began to whisper, "No one can do this. Maybe the king doesn't really want her to marry. This test is impossible." Then, one misty morning, as the dew still hung on the grass, a quiet figure arrived at the palace gates. He wore a faded shirt and carried no sword, only a handmade bag on his shoulder. His name was Daniel, a hunter from a small village called Willow Bend, where people grew crops, told stories around fires, and lived off the land. The gods looked at him and laughed. "Go back to your forest, hunter. This test is for real men, not barefoot villagers." But King Richard, standing high on his palace balcony, saw him and raised a hand. "Let him try." Daniel walked forward, calm and respectful. "Your Majesty," he said, bowing, "I do not come with gold or gifts. I only come with who I am." The king gave a simple nod. "Then go. Let the flames decide." The tallest flame burned a bright golden color. It hissed and flickered like a snake. Daniel stepped forward, took a deep breath, and spoke quietly. "I'm Daniel. I've made mistakes. I once took food that wasn't mine to feed my little brothers. I've been afraid. I've been wrong. But I've never hidden my truth." He reached into the flame. The crowd held their breath. He pulled out a smooth white stone, and his hand wasn't burned. The crowd gasped. A few people clapped. Even the gods looked surprised. Then he moved to the sea-crowned flame. The blue flame burned lower, but its heat could be felt from far away. Others had fallen here, crying out in pain. Daniel closed his eyes and remembered the cold nights when he gave his only blanket to his sick mother, and the days he walked far into the forest, not to feed himself, but to bring back food for an old man in his village who could no longer walk. "Sometimes I've had to give up what little I had, but I never minded," he whispered. He stepped forward. The flame wrapped gently around his fingers like a breeze. He pulled out a black feather. Now the people were no longer whispering. They were watching closely. Then the third flame. This flame was small, barely more than a flicker. But everyone knew it was the most dangerous of all. It didn't burn your skin. It burned your pride. Many of the strongest men had fallen here, not because the flame hurt their hand, but because their egos refused to kneel. Daniel slowly dropped to his knees. "I am not a prince. I own no land. I do not deserve anyone's throne. I am just a man who listens, learns, and loves my people." A deep silence fell. Then the flame split in half, gently revealing a tiny glowing seed. Daniel picked it up. His hand glowed, but was unburnt. King Richard stood. His eyes were full of emotion. This man has done what no prince or noble could do. He faced truth without fear. He gave without regret. And he bowed without shame. Princess Grey stepped forward, not because her father told her to, but because something in her heart pulled her closer to Daniel. She smiled, not out of duty, but out of joy. They were married in a grand ceremony beneath the great tree of Akanni, where everyone from farmers to nobles came to celebrate. And when King Richard passed on many years later, King Daniel ruled, not with gold or war, but with honesty, kindness, and deep listening. Under his reign, the kingdom grew more peaceful, and the people often said, "The fire did not burn him, because he carried light within." Moral of the story: what makes a great leader isn't what he owns. It's who he is when no one's watching. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, drop your thoughts in the comments. We're listening. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more exciting and heartwarming tales. See you in the next one.